Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel today for some rank 3 kingpin gameplay. So to start off the video we're going for the can't stop won't stop path in Act 6 chapter 3. So we've got the sentinel here. So Kingpin has two ways to gain unstoppable. He gains it while heavy charging and also on his special 2. And the can't stop won't stop node also actually extends unstoppable buffs. So as you can see it lasts a good amount of time. So going to go for the special 2 here. And the special 2 allows you to start ramping up your rage charges, which are the main source of damage. So as you can see, we're getting some pretty good damage now. Go for another special 2. We do have an overpower fury active, which is quite a substantial attack boost. So now Sentinel's analysis is relatively high, so it's unlikely that we're going to land any more crits in this fight. So just going to build up to another special 2. Bait out his special 2. So going to go for a special 1 here that will apply this degeneration, which should bypass all of his damage resistances. And there you can charge the heavy attack, and can't stop won't stop extends it long enough for the unstoppable to be active during the special 1. So you can see it is quite a long fight, but he is a pretty good option for can't stop won't stop nodes. Now I think we'll just go in for the kill. So next fight on the path is a Mephisto, so I'm just going to use Torch for this fight. So now Mephisto's down, carry on with the path with the Kingpin showcase. So the next fight is a Punisher 2099. So again we can get the unstoppable on heavies and special 2. Still can't stop won't stop here. Now the reason I've got the Nick Fury synergy is because at the start of the fight Kingpin only shrugs one of the debuffs from the suicides rather than both, which is definitely a bit annoying. So go for the special 2 here. You can see we're already doing some pretty good damage. We're about to enter overpower. And now having the extended unstoppable from the special 2 actually helps out quite a lot for Kingpin, because while the unstoppable is up you gain rage, so having more duration on that just means you can gain more and more rage. And this path does also have, I think it's called running on fumes, which puts a fatigue debuff on you when you're close to the opponent, and we will just shrug that off. So go for another special 2 here. Now throw off a special 1, get the degeneration debuff active. The degeneration also functions as a weakness and an ability accuracy reduction, and finish the fight off with quite a nice heavy crit. So yeah, as you can see, that is quite a quick matchup when you don't have all the damage resistances that Sentinel has. So now move on to this Nebula fight. So Kingpin does have a 50% reduced regeneration rate, so you're not going to get too much willpower healing from the rage debuffs, but it definitely does offset recoil a bit. and it looks like in this fight there is EMP modification, which definitely isn't ideal. So go for a special 2 here. I need to minimise triggering dexterity, really. Throw off some special 1s, potentially have the ability accuracy reduction from it prevent EMP mod. I'm not sure if it actually does, but the weakness will lower the damage. As you can see, 3 of them are doing 162, but at the start of the fight, just 1 of them was doing over 100. So go for another special 2 here. This should be the last one that's needed for this fight. And similar to Killmonger's special 1 charges, you can use Kingpin's Unstoppable from the special 2 to do things like 7-hit combos from parries, or to get intercepts, or to get ins against stun immunity. So it is quite a nice piece of utility. So now we've got the blade matchup. So it looks like here we've got the transducer node, so we should be able to get more special 2s off as long as we stay relatively aggressive in this fight. Now, because of decreased debuff duration, it's going to be quite a bit harder to throw in a lot of heavy attacks, so going to be relying more on the special 2. So go for it here, get the Unstoppable. The special 2 itself does do quite a good bit of damage as well. So bait out this special 2 here. Doesn't seem to want to use it. Go for another special 2. Hopefully can get him down in this unstoppable cycle. Going for the kill here. And just about enough. So as you can see, Kingpin is quite a strong option for can't stop, won't stop paths. And doesn't necessarily need any synergies to work for it either, which is definitely very helpful compared to champions like Mojo or Captain Marvel movie, who both rely on a synergy to be able to do it. So now we're going to be showcasing Kingpin against the biohazard path in the same quest, 6.3.1. So first fight up is an invisible woman. So it's biohazard, clapback, and then this annoying node, which just means she turtles up in force field. But Invisible Woman is a great matchup because she also applies debuffs of her own, which will just fuel rage further. So the HUD synergy is vital if you're using Kingpin against something like Biohazard. It increases his shrug off chance from 60% to be guaranteed. But as you can see, we're doing a lot of damage here. Now there is actually a slight delay on Kingpin shrug off, so some debuffs will get through, which is a bit annoying, but should be able to make up for them through willpower healing and also the regeneration from the Nick Fury synergy. So nice special 2 here. As you can see, it's a very, very quick fight against Invisible Woman there. Only 34 hits. So next up we've got this Ghost matchup. So Ghost has cornered, so we don't want to use a special 1. Some degeneration does count for it, some of it doesn't. I'm not entirely sure what the difference is, but I do just want to play it safe and not really bother with it. So one way you could also play Biohazard to avoid having the debuff stack up on you is to just simply parry heavy, and that means that your hits will be separated enough that the delay between debuff shrugging off won't actually matter. So I think we'll go for that in this fight. You can see we're doing a lot of damage here. Bait out this special 2 and then we should be able to finish her off. Not quite enough. But yeah, very quick fights here. It's probably not quite as good as someone like Ghost or Omega Red is for Biohazard, and he does also rely on the HUD synergy for this. But he is still a solid option, solid alternative, and he does work out for it. So now we've got Hulk. Got class advantage again here. So we'll go for the parry heavy playstyle. So you can chain Kingpins heavy in the corner, and it does actually give you a Fury if you chain 3 of them in a certain amount of time. So go for a special 2 now. Get the long unstoppable active. Looks like this Hulk has Pilfer or something of that sort. So he is gaining some power. Go for another special 2 here. Nice crits there. And finish him off with another special 2. So he is cleaning up these fights very quickly. Now, do have to keep in mind this is a rank 3 6-star, and most people doing Act 6 Chapter 3 probably won't have a great deal of rank 3s, but he definitely will be able to get this done as a 565 or rank 2. So now I've got this Green Goblin fight. Looks like he's got masochism. Evade the special 2 here. Go for a reparry into special 2. Couple of nice crits. Got 2 overpower Furies active now, but probably won't be able to get many attacks in because of his power. So go for the heavy chain in the corner there to get the Fury. Now this Fury is a lot smaller than the overpower one, and generally I don't think it's that useful. But it definitely, if things do line up, it is worth grabbing in the fight. So go for a special 1 here, apply the degeneration. Maybe should have been doing that a bit more in this fight since it can actually prevent masochism, I believe. But yeah, finish him off there. And yeah, so Kingpin, solid option for Biohazard. Definitely not the best, but he does work quite well for it. So now to finish off the video, we are going to go into the Labyrinth of Legends and take on this Red Hulk here. And sort of showcase how Kingpin is in much longer fights rather than the shorter burstier ones. So need to start off by building up to special 2. And this will also be a good opportunity to show how the constant willpower healing interacts with the recoil damage and whether or not it can completely outpace it or not. Now also when an opponent evades, Kingpin gains a rage stack. I think it has a cooldown of something like 1.5 seconds. But it can just be a nice way to ramp up your damage against evaders. So now I've got the Overpower Fury. Now Red Hulk's physical resistance is definitely going to decrease the damage output quite a lot in this fight. And Kingpin does not have a really high crit chance overall. But as you can see, that was a 12k light attack there. So when he does crit fairly big. Now, if my Kingpin was duped, he would certainly be a lot better in this sort of matchup. So the main thing that the duped ability does is when Overpower ends, you come back with more rage stacks. So basically, when you lose your big damage, you don't lose as much damage and can get back into it a bit quicker. And that definitely comes into play quite a lot in these longer form fights. Go for a heavy attack there. Labyrinth of Legends attacks are relatively low, so we are fairly safe to take a hit or two doing that. Bait out another special one. Probably only going to take off about half of this Red Hulk just because it's going to be the same fight for the second half again. Now I do believe the beam damage on the special 2 is actually energy, so it will bypass Red Hulk's physical resistance. So go for another special 2 here, potentially stack up a couple of Furies if he plays into me. Yeah, not playing too cooperative there. Weave in a few heavy attacks. Now that is one of the issues with the heavy attack thing. They pretty much do have to be right in the corner, or they will be able to just dash back and evade out of it. So we are playing pretty recklessly here, just going in for attacks while we've got the unstoppable. Kingpin, he's got a very large health pool, doesn't take a whole lot of damage. So we can take a few hits here and there. So now I've got 2 Overpower Furies active, dealing some solid damage. Go for a special one. Degeneration, it's not too strong, but it does do a good bit of damage on top of the regular hits. Go for a couple heavies here. Into another special 2. Now the rage stacks do also increase the power gain on Kingpin, so he can get to those special 2s a bit quicker. So now I think we're going to build up just below a special 3 and try to get the the Overpower Furies to stack up a bit. Just need this Red Hulk to use his specials. Go for a special 1 here. So yeah, overall I don't think Kingpin is the best Labyrinth of Legends option, at least unduped. But he can work out for a lot of it. And he can also deal with some of the fights where you may need to shrug off a debuff. I think one of the main things that holds his damage output back is his relatively low crit rate. If that was higher, he would have some really, really strong damage output in your everyday matchups. So we have only just hit the first enrage timer and Red Hulk is nearly down. So it's definitely not bad. He definitely can do these fights. Throw for special one here. And as you can see, the constant willpower healing is putting in a lot of work. We probably used upwards of 30 specials in this fight and we're still fairly healthy. We've eaten quite a few hits. Taken quite a lot of recoil damage. Go for a special 2 here and hopefully we should be pretty close to finishing him off. So yeah, there we go. Red Hulk is down to 345 hits. So definitely a fairly long fight. Not the greatest option for this sort of content, but he can work. So thank you all for watching this video and see you all in the next one.